Yeah, just calling Leon Camille over as he makes his way out of the back of the garage. But Sam Lowes has already set a good marker time. He's not far ahead of Toprak Razgatlioglu, but he has got a good few tenths of a second to the rest of the group from fourth position down. They made their way out of the pit lane. It looked like an FIM touring event rather than anything else, all in a big group and going for a ride out around this Angel Nieto circuit. But again, the BMW's working with one another. Michael van der Mark trying to follow his teammate in what, remember, is his final weekend as a permanent rider in WorldSBK. He currently sits in 12th position.
Yeah, for van der Mark, a second and a half off Bulega's time. If he finds a quarter of a second, he moves up onto the third row of the grid right now. That has to be the target for him at this stage. Stick with Toprak as much as he can and see what the situation is. Toprak's fastest time in the first sector at 24.2. He's matched his best time in the sector, but he's close to Bulega as a result in sector 1, but it's about what happens in the second half of the lap.
Toprak Razgatlioglu with only 2 front row starts in 5 Spanish rounds. He hasn't always had the best of Superpole results here in Jerez. Was on pole here in 2021 in his first title winning campaign. He was second last season on the BMW, and BMW have never yet had a pole at this venue.
Personal best sector 1, personal best sector 2 for Toprak. We'll see what he can do in sector 3. These are all pretty much the same pace that he was running on his first stint as well, so he needs to make the step in the next sector, and he's just about to come through to the end of it.
Razgatlioglu's place on the front row of the grid here is vulnerable. Alex Lowes with good second and third sectors at the start of his second stint. We'll see what Lowes can do in sector 4. He's currently in P6, and Alex Lowes on the Bermotor, the number 22, will cross the line. He does go P3 to relegate Razgatlioglu, but Toprak has the opportunity to improve here.
Toprak's found a quarter of a second there in sector 3, and he needs to do the same in the final sector.
Razgatlioglu with 6 pole positions this season so far, the same number he managed in his 2024 title-winning campaign. Exits the final turn 2/10 of a second down on Nicolo Bulega's lap time. He is still 2/10 of a second down as he crosses the line. Bulega still leads, but it is Razgatlioglu's best lap of the weekend so far, and Michael van der Mark following him on track gains a couple of places to P10 as well.
Yeah, and we'll see who else is able to find something. Remy Gardner is probably going to be the next rider. We see Remy's on for a decent lap down in towards the last corner, trying to put it on to that second row of the grid.
Gardner 7th on the grid last Saturday, his best Superpole since the first half of the season when he was P6 in Most in Misano, his best so far in 2025. Gardner then crosses the line and moves up to P5, so if he can hold on to that, it would be his best Superpole effort of this 2025 campaign. Meanwhile, Nicolo Bulega is up by more than 1/10 of a second on his lap record time set in the first stint of this Superpole session. 2 minutes to go, and Bulega is going faster still.
Yeah, Bulega on for a great lap once again. It's the likes of Xavi Vierge. Is he able to get into the mix? We know how good he is with the Q tyre, trying to move up from 9th on the grid. Bulega just about to smash that lap record again.
Nicolo Bulega then exits the final turn. He's already claimed the lap record. He's going to go faster still here. It's a 1 minute 36.629, more than half a second faster than Toprak Razgatlioglu's second and best effort. And remember, Nicolo Bulega's pole lap a year ago, 1 minute 37.596. So almost a second faster than he went for pole here a year ago.
Ludicrous stuff from Bulega to be able to pull these laps out, but he's looked so strong and comfortable all the way through this weekend. Xavi Vierge, he's made a good step forward the last couple of weeks for Honda, puts it up onto that third row of the grid, but you're a second and a half off the pace. You're half a second off the front row, but you're a second and a half off the pace of Bulega. It really does just illustrate how good of a job Bulega's done.
Remy Gardner's excellent lap has demoted Jonathan Ray down onto the third row of the grid. Alvaro Bautista down on row 3 as well now.
Ray had to bail on the first lap of the second stint, and he'll try and see if he's able to find something in the second lap on the tyre, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do that.
Jonathan Ray, the 2019 Spanish round pole sitter. 6 front row starts in all on the Kawasaki at the Spanish round, but Superpoles have been tougher for him on the Yamaha. Doesn't look as though too many riders close to the front are going to improve with their second or in some cases even third flying laps in the latter stages. Just 30 seconds to go until the checkered flag, and in the end a second place here for Toprak Razgatlioglu will be a good damage limitation effort because he was never going to get to Bulega's pace.
It's also all Toprak has to do. He just needs to make sure he's able to score good points in race 1 this afternoon, and then the championship will take care of itself. That is the goal for him and for BMW. but BMW have a Manufacturers' Championship to win as well, and I think that's where some of the pressure's coming on from Top Rack as well at this stage.
Yes, the pressure to win races, the pressure to get the championship done with a day to spare has got to be part of it as well. And then the Manufacturers' Championship. If he loses another 5 points, he's going to need to go out and win both races tomorrow in order to take it for BMW.
We've seen this movie before for Top Rack, though, whenever he doesn't have that same pace as some of the Ducatis in terms of that raw speed, and that's Tulovic that's gone down at the last corner, but he doesn't have that raw speed. But once you get into a race situation, he's able to find that track position, and that's where Bulega will know that he'll have to defend against Razgatlioglu despite having this big advantage in the Superpole session.
Tulovic, the wild card, going down at the final turn means that riders won't be able to improve on their lap times, although the yellow flag has just been removed. So Nicola Spinelli making his way through on the exit of the final turn will be able to complete his lap, but actually in the end loses ground in the final sector and fails to improve. So there we have it. Nicolo Bulega, Toprak Razgatlioglu and Sam Lowes is your front row, and Sam doing remarkably well to set a P3 time with one flying lap and then bailing on the rest of the session, but it does raise fitness doubts about his participation and certainly his stamina over the distance this afternoon in race 1.
I think the big thing for Sam is it gives him a front row start for the Superpole race if he's able to take part in that. You could see the strain that he's under, and a big reason for that is Jerez is quite a physical track because there's nowhere where you can take a break, there's nowhere where you can catch your breath out there, and ultimately that lends itself to being pretty difficult out there for a rider carrying an injury, particularly when it's a rib injury, because then you're naturally constricted anyway.
And there was me thinking the reason was going to be the pat on the ribs you gave him yesterday, Steve, when we made our way back into the media centre.
No comment about that. I did get a glare from Alex about that. And,
it is Nicolo...
I'm a gentle giant, though, Al.
Yes, Nicolo Bulega P1, Toprak Razgatlioglu P2, Sam Lowes third on the grid. Andrea Iannone will be satisfied with fifth position, keeps him right in the mix for podium place. And you think about the number of times that Iannone this season has had a great Superpole followed by a terrible race, or a great race, but he's already wasted his opportunity with a bad Superpole. It's just up to him to put it all together over a full race weekend here. But with Alvaro Bautista down in P8, Sam Lowes not fully fit, the next best Ducati is Andrea Iannone. There's a chance for podium places for him.
Yeah, and for Iannone, we know how good he is around this track. We saw it from his 125 days into his Moto2 days, and obviously his MotoGP career as well. But these are the tracks that suit his style, and these are the days when you need to take advantage of it, because ultimately this could be the last time we get to see Andrea Iannone in a World Championship grid. He still doesn't have his future sorted for next season.